Hi everyone, Justin Pate from the Wrap Institute, and welcome to round number 6 of the Never Stop Learning online wrap contest. And in this round, you're going to see how to wrap this floor. Super cool stuff. Floors are one of my favorite things to wrap, and they're actually one of the most underused items that are wrapped in the industry. I think you can wrap them super quick, and you can actually make really good profits. Plus, it transforms a boring floor pretty darn quickly. And this round is sponsored by Jenna Formulations, and if you guess how long it took Reiner and I to wrap this floor, you're going to win a free kit of their wrapping film. It's their GF333 Drift PW, and it comes with a lamination gloss to GF231. And what this is generally used for, the material, the kit you're going to get, is for flat signages, and it also can be used for partial wraps on vehicles, and it's valued at $550. Super cool stuff. So again, we're going to show you lots of good tips and tricks on how to wrap a floor, but if you guess again how long it took us to wrap it, you win that $550 kit from Jenna Formulations. Let's get to it. You ready, Reiner?
Ready.
Ready, cool. All right, so we're going to wrap this floor. So with the Wrap Institute, we always want to do it by the book. So the idea is good prep. Obviously, we're going to install and then good finishing. So the prep we're not going to show because that's not part of this contest, but prep is really important, especially when you get to a floor. Choosing the right material. This one's a textured floor, so you want to get something that's pretty aggressive so it really bites into there. And then for cleaning, we mopped it, and then we degreased it with an isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol. Yeah.
Raise the surface energy. And then Reiner came in just to be safe, and you dried the floor with an air blower, which is really cool. So we make sure it's bone dry, super cool. Obviously, we make sure that our shoes are super, super clean. Otherwise, we take our shoes off and wrap in socks, but I don't feel like doing that today. Cool.
We're fine with the shoes.
Then obviously, we laid the graphics out, make sure they fit. Very important to do. So now that's all part of prep, and then you get your tools ready. And in this case, because we're wrapping a floor, I got a giant squeegee, and you got the bill collector, which is super cool because you got a handle. So the bigger the squeegee on a flat area, the more surface you can cover, the faster you wrap, and the quicker you get home, or in this case, you know, we get to go out to dinner tonight. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Cool. So again, we're ready to wrap. So again, that's the prep for the floor. So once you get the prep right, it actually makes the install go much, much easier. So we got 3 panels, and I think we're ready to rock and roll. How do you feel, Reiner? You're good?
I'm good.
Cool.
Always good.
And you can definitely wrap by yourself, but I think in this case, it's always a good idea with floors to wrap with 2 people. It just makes it super, super flowy. So that's the whole deal. So we got the clock here, ready to rock and roll. Let's do it. Cool. So hopefully, if you're the winner, you get that free roll of Jenna Formulations film, and bam, let's get to it. So now we got the panel set. Lay the graphics out. So now in this case now, for me, I think communication is really important with floors. I want to make sure that I have enough here. In this case, line it up where I really wanted to hit the backside here, and then tuck it right into the corner there. In this case, and again, sometimes with walls, I see that, Reiner, you're right in the corner here, and I'm right in the corner here, but I feel if we put it in, we're a little short right to there. So actually I want to kind of bring it up just a little kiss. So we bring it up a little kiss here, and again, that's good communication. So now I feel like we can go back just a kiss right now, right to there. I feel like we're good. And I feel like we're good in the corner. How are you feeling?
Okay, so the wall is not really straight.
Yeah.
So we angled it out in the right position. So good. Okay. I stand on it.
Okay. So sometimes you put masking tape down, sometimes you can, and what Reiner's doing right now is just kneel on it. And this is a really cool tool. Okay, this is a backing paper cutter. Awesome stuff right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cut the backing paper away to make it easier to start. So I slide this in, pull all the way across. And once I get that set now, what I can do is flip this back over and set it there. Reiner's got it locked on. So
I'm heavy enough for this.
so when you're wrapping floors, it definitely pays off to be a little heavy. So once I do that, I get that locked in. Again, Reiner's helping on the back side here. So I'm going to squeeze it right into the section here. Okay, and just for workflow right now, that was a little peeking up right there, but you know what? I'm going to come back to that because I can think that Reiner can balance it off at the end. So Reiner right now is just rolling the panel up to make it easier for me to release it. So rolls it up nice and clean, picks up nice and high, and that's going to put very little pressure on the section I just squeegeed. And now watch this. So Reiner can kind of pull it out. I can lock it in just a little bit now. And squeegee back and forth. So I'm paying attention to make sure it stays right on the wall. So if we drift a little bit up to the so far, So with floors right now, it's very important to, when you finish a section, especially when you come back to it, is to squeegee it down. Reiner's taking care of all the trash right now, so I can come in and I can focus on this corner. So again, it's having that good flow. So I'm going to cut it back to here, squeegee it, and I'm making what's called relief cuts. And if I make relief cuts, it really relaxes the material around this section here and helps it hold for the long term. Because this material that I'm putting down is what's called calendar film. Now, calendar film is great because the price point, for the most part, is generally low and it's made for flat surfaces, so it's a great combination. But because it's made for flat surfaces, it doesn't stretch a lot. So by making relief cuts around there, the material really relaxes around there. It's going to hold for the long term. Super cool. So now that I have that cut out now, I can squeegee it right under here, and I'll come back and cut this out later. So once that's set now, okay, Reiner's already kind of releasing the material. Just to make it easier, so notice that what Reiner did, again, good tip, is released it right here, and that's just going to make it easier for me to pull. But what's different about this panel versus the panel we just put on is registration. So this is what really makes floors pretty tricky. So what I'm going to do is set the panel to here, and we're really just making sure that everything lines up right here. So I'm actually going to start from farther back now. Reiner feels pretty good about everything. I feel pretty good about everything.
Good.
Checking everything right to here.
Fits perfect.
Fits
Here a little bit more.
It's drifting a little bit here. So again, this is where this slows down a little bit right now. And I'm going to feel the material always stretches a little bit. So I got the material locked in back to here.
That looks good.
Okay, so if Reiner's happy, I'm happy. So coming back to here. And what I love about floors is you really can transform a space pretty quickly, especially if you have a good partner like Reiner. So I'm going to cut it straight across now. Set that to here. Flip that over. Check the registration right now. It feels pretty good right to there. Double check that everything's nice and flat. So Reiner, I think it's going to shift a little bit. So right to there, this is pretty good. How you feeling? Because what happens sometimes is, because we started here, the panel's actually going to stretch down farther. So Reiner, what we can do is maybe hop off a little bit. I'm going to switch sides now. Come in from this side. Pick it up and make adjustments now. Okay, for me, I'm actually really good right here. How you feeling about that? Right.
I want to line up the.
So for me, I'm drifting a little bit. I'm good right to here. And right there, I'm feeling pretty good. How you feeling? Because the material will shift a little bit right now. So I'm actually going to pick this up.
It's more like
lay that back down.
really like
Right
to
here,
this
I'm good.
registration.
So talking, I feel awesome right there. So I think if we lock it into here, and then the panel will shift. Cool?
Okay,
Awesome.
cool.
So
Looks
again,
good.
notice that Reiner and I again slow down just enough right there. And now, this is where the speed comes. So again, having that good communication, making sure that you're all on the same page. Lock it in right to there. Squeeze it across. Cool. Once that's set now, right? So now Reiner's going to do the same thing. And I'm actually going to focus on the registration right now. And Reiner's going to make sure the panel stays straight. Again, having really good communication is key. So Reiner's actually going to take off more of the backing paper than normal. And then, watch what I do. So once I get to here, I squeeze it down. Looking really good, Reiner. Really good. So I'm actually kind of squeezing from the outside in. Dropping everything here. That looking pretty good. Actually going to shift it down a little bit right to there. Cool. I see that it drifted a little bit, so we'll pick it back up. Take the whole backing paper up, Brian, so I can squeegee that back a little bit. Right to here. So I'm actually pushing the material back in the shape of what I call triangles, and that makes everything pixel to pixel. Right to here. We're going to squeegee that right to there. Cool. Good. And this all lines up really nice. Awesome. So with that set now, we can jump over here and just squeegee the flat. Squeegee back over here. Because what you have to think about is for calendar film, especially with this one, this has a nice thick lamination on top. And what this lamination is doing is going to help it protect for the long term. So see Reiner's squeegee right now, again, that's called the bill collector. And what's really nice is instead of holding the squeegee like this, Reiner can use his arm, okay, and just hold it with his hand. It actually helps him put a huge amount of pressure on and make it stick even better. Now you can see the panel's nice and flat. We focus on the registration. So now 2 panels are done. We're in it for 8 minutes right now. And come on over here. And we're going to lay this panel out. Awesome. Switch. Cool. So Reiner's going to show a different way of releasing the backing paper. You can use that cutter from Yellow Tools, or you can just release the entire backing paper right now. And what's nice about the Wrap Institute is we try to show as many different ways to wrap as possible. So in this case, we got it here. Reiner's now going to cut the backing paper. Awesome. Liner goes away, and now, by cutting the backing paper away now, Reiner can now register everything. Hold it right here. I feel pretty good about right here personally. Again, it's going to stretch a little bit. I'm just going to fold the panel over just a little bit. Cool. And what's nice about wrapping floors is, for the most part, with floors, the initial tack is pretty low. And because the initial tack is pretty low, it means that you can actually kind of do what Reiner's doing, is play with it, kind of get it in that sweet spot, and then you're good to go. So he cuts it there, kind of folds the panel over, feels good about it. Throw the bill collector towards Reiner. And if you want to squeeze you more, you got that. Cool. And again, putting that huge pressure on. We can release the entire liner. Fold it over this way. Cool. And now, release the liner. And awesome. Cool. So looking good so far. So I squeeze you down, pixel to pixel. Awesome. Drifting a little bit here, so I squeeze it back. Awesome. Squeeze it right to there. Cool. I think we're good. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Looking good. Actually, let's pick it up a little bit here. I just want to stretch it just a little bit. There we go. Right to there. A little bit back. I'm actually pushing the material so it lines up. Right to there. Awesome. Cool. So, I can jump over. Reiner can grab his squeegee. While Reiner does that, I'm actually going to take care of the trash really quick, because you always want to have a good, clean workspace. And what we try to show on the Wrap Institute is really trying to minimize your waste. So instead of throwing this all in the trash, I can roll the liner up, and this takes much less space in the landfill. So I can show you this right here. So you got the backing paper all rolled up nice and tight, so that fits in the trash nice and clean. Reiner's finishing it up. Now, if you guessed that it took us 11 minutes and 40 seconds, we're not going to stop the clock now, because what Reiner's doing right now is he's actually going to trace the outside section. The reason why you round the corner right now is you want to make sure that it holds for the long term. And very similar if you've done PPF, for example. On PPF, you always try to round your corners. And same thing with the floor, is you want to round it to make sure that that corner doesn't get picked up. So now that I have everything tucked in right now, I can come back over, stick my blade right in the corner. What I'm doing is I'm cutting away the excess foam. You can see that with floors, even though we started perfectly straight with the first panel, is that sometimes they build the walls a little crooked, so you have to adapt and adjust. So now what Reiner's doing right now, if you look right here, is Reiner's now rolling the overlaps, adding a little bit of heat. Not too much, And so again, you can see that we're really focusing on finishing strong. Got that pulled away. I'm going to come back in here and seal the glue. Seal it right to the edge here. Super cool. And you always want to make sure you seal that deal. Awesome. And you see Reiner rolling the edges, making sure those are down nice and tight. So it's all about finishing strong. And so within a matter of minutes right now, we've really transformed this floor. Have great registration. The overlaps are going to hold for the long term. All the edges are rolled down. Reiner, are you feeling good?
Only this
Reiner's
piece.
feeling good. So again, what I love about wrapping floors is you just take a plain gray floor, and in a matter of a few minutes, you can transform it.
Okay.
Done.
Good.
Reiner, are you happy?
I'm happy. I'm
Thumbs
always
up.
happy.
So we're going to stop the clock at 13 minutes and 41 seconds. We transformed this floor. Super cool. So it's down super tight. We chose the right floor. We cleaned it really good. Got nice, good overlaps. And now look, we got a great picture space. Super cool. So now people coming to the Wrap Institute can pose. Awesome stuff, which is cool. So again, this is how you wrap a floor. And again, teamwork is very essential for that for sure. And I hope you learned a lot in this video, and I hope you won a lot. You win that roll from General Formulations, full kit print, which is awesome. So big thank you to General Formulations for sponsoring this round of the Never Stop Learning contest. Big thank you to Reiner for helping out. And I hope now you can feel comfortable wrapping floors, because there's lots of different types of floors you can wrap, like wedding floors and carpets and all sorts of stuff. So this opens your repertoire to really making some good money and having a lot of fun. So thank you, Reiner, and thank you for watching. Cheers, everyone.